Haas. Hello, Internet. I'm Matt Haas. Hello, hello. Well, I believe I was scammed out of $2,000. I know, right? I'll get more into that in a moment. But I wanted to also bring you up to date on the tool purchase I spoke about a couple of shows ago. My friend sent me a Facebook post about some tools, some wood shop tools that his friend was selling. He says, "Hey, I know you love woodworking. Are any of these tools something you're interested in?" They were all premium tools. I was like, "Yeah." So I started chatting with the guy, and he finally posted his prices. And I told him, I'm like, what typically happens is tools go for about 50% of what you can get at retail. And he comes back, and all the tools are almost full retail. I mean, like 8% below full retail, maybe 10. Crazy, crazy. This is the tool that I really wanted. This is a overhead drum sander, the Supermax 1632. I know that's a bunch of probably gobbledygook for you, but this is what the tool looks like. Get that a little bigger for you. Yeah. Okay. So this piece here has a drum on it, and the drum has sandpaper. And then this is a belt-fed system that moves your workpiece underneath here, and it sands the top of it. Very heavy-duty machine. This is a lot of iron hanging above this bed, and it has to very precisely be the same distance. So I guess that's what makes it so expensive. So, it's $13,500, $1,350. The guy wanted $1,100 for it. I'm like, dude, I would just pay $250 more and buy the thing brand new. I was nice about it. I'm like, look, that's like we're not on the same page here. But I was like, if your prices come down by any amount, let me know. And he says, they're not going to come down to 50%. I go, I know. I'd consider going more. And he was like, well, make me an offer. So I said, for this tool used, it's obviously his tool is used. I said, I'll give you $800 for it. And he's like, all right, I'll get back to you. So what are you going to do? Good morning, Matt and viewer, says Hugh Demand. That's Mr. Whit Prophet. Hi, Whit. Good morning to you. Oh, look, I got a new layout. Look at this. Boom. Oh, wait, that's not what I want. Where's your comment? Hugh Demand, put another comment up on the screen. This is not working the way I thought it would, but oh well. Weird. Yeah, I can go over here. Nope. There we go. Try that. All right. Hi, tall boy. I have a new layout that I'm trying out here to put more focus on comments. Hope that's working for you. Well, I'll kind of get used to that. I'm here pushing all of the buttons, and it's a thing. Oh, there's another comment. Okay, here we go. Boom. Oh, I see what's going on. Interesting. Okay, I'm seeing how that works now. You got to try new things. It's all about trying new things. So, oh, thank you. Yeah, I've got some ideas to make this even better. Happy Thursday, says David W. Ryan. I actually wanted it a little bit different. I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm going to work on that a little bit. Oh, you know it. I also conceptualized a better way to do cartoon matte. As you've probably seen, I have another computer sitting on this very advanced tech accessory called a tissue box. So the computer sits there that runs the cartoon matte, and the camera is below where my main camera is. So when I'm doing the show, I'm looking here, but I'm not looking at the camera of the cartoon Matt. What am I getting at? Cartoon Matt's eyes are always like this, looking straight up in the air. And it's kind of a awkward show when the guest, even though it's a cartoon, has the eyeballs looking north, straight up. So what I could do is I could take my capture card. So this is the capture card for my mirrorless camera, and it has an HDMI pass-through. So I could take that HDMI pass-through and run it into another capture card, put the HDMI here, and then come out USB, and then USB I could put into a hub that goes into USB-C, because this is a USB-A. And then that could go into my laptop that sits on this tissue box. And bottom line is, then the laptop would see my eyes looking at the camera, and the eyes of the cartoon would be looking straight ahead. Isn't that a lot of gobbledygook to go through to improve the cartoon Matt? I could run an HDMI cable out of something and back into something and put it through converters and other hubs and things like that. This is what you have to deal with as a content creator. Like, can I go through all this rigmarole to make my content 2% better? Because I think if the eyes of the cartoon would look forward rather than up, that might be a 2% improvement. That's what you always got to do. Marilyn W. is back in the house. She says, good morning, Matt and everyone. Good morning to you. Or is that doable? Everything's doable in vMix. vMix can do everything. I'm taking notes. Too much, I'm afraid of overload. Well, that's why you got to break into it. You know, you got to test it. And then I did 3 cartoon Matts. You know, it's just not every day, whatever. I also, now the cartoon Matt could actually get much better, because they make some features where the head will turn, so they have side profiles, which is good. And I'm not sitting back far enough for it to capture my arms. So you see the cartoon Matt always has his arms here, and then I can pick up a hand with the mouse and move a hand up and stuff like that. It's kind of really awkward. But if I could get my mic back, because this mic's on a boom arm, it really needs to be about here. So I'd have to, you know, get a handheld mic. It keeps getting layered, and I think the quality of it is really good, because I captured my background, I put the mic in the foreground, the animations in between the background and the foreground mic. You know, like, I've done a lot extra to make it better than most, because most people do the cartoon and they have the default stock background or something like that. Excuse me. I couldn't hit the mute button. All right, so was I scammed out of $2,000? USB-A to C, HDMI to BC, card host to the internet. Hey, thank you so much, anonymous Facebook user. There's a link in the description with the word eCam in it. If you click it and follow the directions, I'll be able to see your lovely avatar and name. So you saw that, or on yesterday's show, I talked about the glass repair. I had the windshield repair, $370, 15 minutes on my property. It was done. I was really happy with that thing. Then I got the car inspected, and I drove to the dealership without the inspection stickers on. So I was all ready to get pulled over by the cops, but that didn't happen, thankfully. And they said, Mr. Haas, your car has passed inspection, but here's 7 things we recommend you do. And one of the things was oil leaking. They're like, we need to replace a gasket, or we strongly suggest you replace a gasket. And my car did have the oil change required alert came up on it. So I was kind of freaked. I never saw that before. So I don't know what it was. Maybe I didn't have enough coffee. Maybe I wasn't in a right mood, but I approved 6 of the 7 things that they suggested I had done. And one of the things was to replace the gasket to fix this oil leak problem. $2,000. So I go to get in my wife's car because she was going to drive me to pick it up so I don't have to $20 Uber over there. Saving money where I can. And I look at the spot where my car is usually parked in the garage. There's no oil on the floor. The floor is bone dry. I'm like, did they just BS me? Did they just make up that my car that needed this thing? And the gasket itself, let me show you this. This is the gasket. This is what they gave me. This right there, that little piece of rubber, okay? A gasket is a piece of rubber that's sandwiched between 2 metal parts to make it not leak. And I'm presuming it's probably about this big. It's a little rubber part. You know how much that cost me? Just that rubber part and to install it? That's the rub, the install it. That's the labor. $1,000. $1,000 just for that. And I also got a whole laundry list of other things done. I got new spark plugs, new transmission fluid, new wipers, the diagnostic to figure out that it was leaking oil. And they're like, prevents loss of engine oil and keeps surrounding area free of oil residue. If not replaced, the engine will leak oil from the valve cover, which can result in a burning smell coming from the vehicle's engine. So, change the oil and replace the filter, $80. Emissions test, $40. FPFP, line item FPFP cost me, that's 0. I thought that was costing me something. State inspection was $30. Rotated the tires was $30. Wiper blade was $35. The diagnostic was $180. The valve cover was $900. Spark plugs were $230. Transmission fluid replacement was $280. So I've spent a lot of money on my car, and it's an old car. It's almost got 100,000 miles on it. So whatever. Don't worry about the odds, man. You are good. $2,000. I know. What gasket needed to be changed? The gasket between the blah-blah-blah. Oil will leak from the valve cover. So it's sandwiched between the valve cover and something else. I don't know much about engines. Emission could be no more than 20. Yeah, I don't know. So, and I did what did I reject? They wanted to replace my shock absorbers. And that would have been $800. Shock absorber replacement. Shock absorbers dampen the shock of the suspension absorbs when the vehicle is driven over uneven. I'm like, no. So, I'm out a lot of money. I just dropped $4,000 on our car. My wife went pick it up, and something else went wrong. She had to take it right back to the shop. Ugh. Yeah. Now, I don't want to jinx it, but the last car I owned was also I ran it a long time. I like to keep cars for 10 years or more. My car is going to be 10 years old next year. It's 9 years old. And I had all this work done on my old car. I replaced the tires. I replaced the brakes. I replaced the cylinders that the brakes smash into. Very expensive. And I had 3 or 4 other things, like the major recommended maintenance, which was hundreds of dollars. I put $3,000 some dollars into this old car just to keep it running for another 4 years, maybe. Fingers crossed. Month and a half later, smashed into a deer and totaled it. Went to the junkyard with brand new tires, brand new brakes, brand new rotors. Life isn't fair. What kind of car you got? Year, make, and model. I have a 2014 Ford Escape. So it's a little hatchback. I guess maybe you could be generous and call it a small SUV, although I think that's probably not accurate. Yeah, so I like something where I can put materials for my wood shop in the back and haul it around. We were laughing as you were swiping the card. Yeah, speaking of swiping the card, ooh, camera just moved. Did you feel the earth move? Speaking of swiping the card, I couldn't find my physical Apple Card credit card because when you have Apple Pay, I'm Apple Pay credit card. When you have Apple Pay, they send you a physical card in case the merchant doesn't take Apple Pay. And they had like a Square kiosk, which I thought wouldn't pick it up. So I had to like type in the MasterCard number. So bottom line, there was no swipe. Let me go over here. Yeah, there was no swiping involved. I got to get that smoother. Notice I kind of fumbled with that. I'm gonna up my production value and switch to this layout with the comment already there. I haven't quite figured that out yet. Put my previous comment on your new overlay. Oh, I just did. Hate to say it, but you got duped. Yeah, here we go. Hate to say it, but you got duped. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. What can I do now? Like, they legitimately did the work. I can't, like, complain because I authorized the work and they did the work that I authorized. But, and, maybe it was leaking, but it just, like, burned up on the engine and never dripped down to the floor. Maybe that's a thing. I don't know. But, the car was almost 100,000 miles. It needed a lot of stuff anyway and whatever. So, did a lot of crying, but it's all good. It is what it is. Valve cover gasket, $24 at Advanced Auto. Dude, you're killing me. You're killing me. The gasket itself, that's on its own line item because they broke it all out. Here we go. The kit with the O-ring was $177. So like you're talking this. So that if it was $24, they charged me $177 for the. Oh, wait a minute. Gasket, valve, rocker arm, cove, $34. And then a kit O-ring, $177. Oh, mine are here. I don't know. I think I got scammed. But I'm putting a period and I'm moving on. I don't want to drag you down with my problems. Hopefully this guy changes his mind about his insanely high used tool prices. Maybe he'll sell this to me for $800 rather than, I guess, regular $1,500, but whatever. We'll see. All right, I'm leaving it here. I love you all, and drop me a big old like. Give me a subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you have auxiliary channels, give me a subscribe on them. I need like 30 more, and I can be monetized, which would be a fun thing for me. Okay, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow, and I'm off today, off work today. What trouble am I going to get into? Find out tomorrow, Friday. Okay, got to go. Bye.